Single parenting can feel like a solo journey, but it doesn't have to be. Introducing Mom Flex app, the ultimate village web app designed just for you. From financial support to community connections, Mom Flex app offers a lifeline, helping you navigate parenting with confidence. Find trusted resources, build your support network, and thrive. Because every parent deserves a village. Join the movement today. Visit momflex.org to install the app and take the first step toward a stronger, more supported you.
Every day's a battle, every step a climb, but we're standing tall, we're building our lives. Through the sleepless nights and the endless fight, we rise, we shine, we hold on tight. We are more than the labels, more than the pain, breaking the cycle, rewriting the game. Stronger together, we lift, we strive. Single parents, we rise and thrive. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive. Turning our pain into power, we're alive. We feel you matter, you're strong inside. Together we shine, we rise, we thrive. Stories of triumph, stories of grace. Single parents with dreams to chase. They said we'd break, they said we'd fall, but look at us now, we're standing tall. We are more than the labels, more than the pain, breaking the cycle, rewriting the game. Stronger together, we lift, we strive. Single parents, we rise and thrive.
Hey, single parent, welcome back to Beyond the Struggle, Rise and Thrive, the podcast where we hold space for truth, for healing, for growth. This isn't just a show. It's a safe place, a place for real conversation about the way we carry, the strength we have built, and the silent battles we have fought just to make it through another day. Here, we recognize the beauty in broken places. We celebrate resilience, not perfection. And we honor the everyday warrior like you who rise, not because it's easy, but because you have to. I'm your host, and today's episode is deeply personal. It's not just a topic, it's a lived experience, one that speaks to anyone who's ever tried to build a home without ever having one that resonates with the hearts who never felt safe as children, but are now trying to create safety for their own. Today, we are talking about breaking cycles of absence, cycles of emotional neglect, cycles of survival mode parenting, where love was assumed but rarely spoken, where affection was replaced with responsibility, and where warmth was something you gave but never received. We are talking about the courage it takes to raise children with no map, no example, and no manual, just hope, faith, and instinct as your only guide. And yet, somehow, you find the strength to try, to show up, to love anyway. Today's episode is titled, Breaking the Cycle, A Mother's Fight to Raise What She Never Had. Because sometimes the fiercest form of love is when you give your child something you never received yourself. This one's for the mother who had to become a caretaker before she was ready, for the parent who learned responsibility before they ever learned rest, for the ones who carry stories not just of struggles, but of triumph. So, take a deep breath, find your quiet corner, and settle in, because this story may be mine, but if you ever had to raise what you never had, it might be yours too. Let's begin.
Queen in every way. Dear Queen, You wear your crown with pride, shouldering the world with grace inside. You're a mother, you're a guide, a steady flame, teaching love, strength, never seeking fame. I see the fire that never dies, through sleepless nights and heavy sighs. You rise again, you light the way, turning darkest night into brighter day. You are a queen and
I grew up without a father. Yes, not by choice, just circumstance. And I was shuffled from one relative to another. An aunt here, an uncle there. I had no roots, no real home, just houses. I passed through like a traveler, never quite belonging. By the time I was 8, I was already changing diapers, warming bottles, and learning how to quiet the cries of babies that weren't mine. I was already having sleepless nights. I wasn't nurtured. I was assigned responsibility. I wasn't mothered. I became the stand-in mother. That kind of responsibility and upbringing shapes you. It forces you to grow up before your time. It teaches you strength, yes, but it can also steal your softness, and that it did. You learn to be resilient, but not how to rest. You become reliable, but don't know how to receive love, only how to give it. My mother left to seek a better life overseas. I don't fault her. I understand the kind of sacrifices she made, but her leaving left a void I didn't know how to name until I became a mother myself. At 17, I was already the go-to caretaker for younger cousins. At 21, when I finally traveled overseas, it wasn't to chase dreams. It was to care for my younger brothers, always caring, always holding. And then at 26, I had my first child. Let me tell you something. There is no manual for motherhood when you are never experienced what it means to be mothered. There is no script to follow when you are trying to give love you never received. You are building a plane while flying it, learning what warmth, stability, and guidance look like while trying to be all of that to someone else. I raised my children with no blueprint, just love, intuition, and survival instinct. I gave them everything I had. But to be honest, there are days I still question whether it was enough. I remember one evening, my youngest had just had a meltdown over something small. I was tired. I was emotionally drained, and I snapped. Not out of anger, but out of emptiness. Later, I sat on the bathroom floor crying, not because of what she did, but because I didn't know how to comfort her the way I wished someone had comforted me. I didn't know what a gentle parent looked like. I only knew what I had seen: sternness, silence, and self-reliance. But here's the truth. I'm learning, and I want to share with you. Doing better than you had is a triumph. And even if you are not perfect, breaking a cycle is sacred work. My children are not growing up being passed from house to house. They know their mother is present. They may not get every want, but they get what I never did: consistency, safety, and effort. We may not always get the parenting right, but when we choose to not repeat the harm we experience, we are healing generations. To every parent listening who's figuring it out as they go, to the mother who didn't have a mother to guide her, to the father who never had a safe place to learn, let alone someone to teach him how to protect and provide. This is for you. Let me say this slowly because someone needs to hear it. You are not behind. Even if you feel lost, even if you are learning things now that others learned decades ago, even if you are unlearning survival just to make space for love, you are not behind. You are not failing, even when your patience runs thin, even when your children ask for things you don't know how to give emotionally, even when you go to bed wondering if your best was enough, you are not failing. You are pioneering. You are walking a road no one paved for you. You are building something you never saw model. You are parenting in the dark, sometimes holding on to nothing but hope, prayer, and the quiet conviction that your children deserve more than what you had. You are not repeating history. You are rewriting it. And make no mistake, it takes courage, a deep, soul-wrenching kind of courage to raise what you never had, to give affection when you were raised with absence, to speak gently when all you knew was silence and scolding, to create stability when all you ever knew was uncertainty. It takes faith to believe your children can feel whole when you have only known brokenness, to believe they can grow up feeling seen and safe even if no one ever truly saw you. And it takes grace, a whole lot of grace, to forgive yourself for what you didn't know, to accept what you won't get it at all right, to accept that you won't get it all right, to learn to love yourself, not for the perfection, but for your effort, for your heart. You are worthy. You are enough. And even when you are doubting yourself, your children are watching you love them in ways you were never loved. That is healing in motion. That is legacy in real time. So keep going, pioneering, keep rising, keep choosing love even when it feels unfamiliar. Because you are not just raising children. You are raising a new standard, a new story, a new cycle. And that is extraordinary. So if you ever laid in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, questioning if you gave enough, loved enough, or were enough, if you ever sat in silence after the kids finally fell asleep, replaying every word you said that day, wondering if you could have handled things better. If you ever looked at your child, happy, sad, or somewhere in between, and felt that tug in your chest because you are still learning how to be the parent you never had, let me speak directly to your heart. If you ever wondered if you were best was enough, know this. Your children may not understand your journey right now. They may not see the sleepless night, the silent tears, the invisible battles. They may not understand the way you carry or the past you are fighting to heal from. But one day, when they are grown, when they look back at the foundation they were given, they will remember. Not every detail, not every struggle, but they will remember this. She tried. She gave. She showed up every single day. Not perfectly, not without mistakes, but faithfully, fiercely, with love that defied the limits of your upbringing. And that, my friend, that is love in its rawest, most powerful form. The kind of love that doesn't come from knowing how. It comes from choosing to try anyway, to stand in the gap, to say the pain stops here, to become the safe place you never had so your children can grow with what you once only dreamed of. Let me leave you with this quote. You may not come from a healthy family, but a healthy family can come from you. You are not just breaking cycles. You are planting new roots. You are speaking life into a new generation. You are building a legacy not based on what you were given, but on what you dare to become. So, to you, I say, keep rising, keep thriving, keep showing up, because you were chosen for this. And even on the days it doesn't feel like it, you are doing holy, transformative work, one a perfect, beautiful step at a time. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for holding space for me today on Beyond the Struggle. Rise and Thrive. If this episode touched your heart, share with another parent who might be carrying a quiet battle of their own. Remind them they are not alone. They are not failing. They are just growing and healing day by day. Until next time, take care of yourself. You are worthy. You are enough. And you are not alone. Ciao now.
Every day's a battle, every step a climb, but we're standing tall, we're building our lives. Through the sleepless nights and the endless fight, we rise, we shine, we hold on tight. We are more than the labels, more than the pain, breaking the cycle, rewriting the game. Stronger together, we lift, we strive. Single parents, we rise and thrive. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive. Turning our pain into power, we're alive. We see you, you matter, you're strong inside. Together we shine, we rise, we thrive. Stories of triumph, stories of grace. Single parents with dreams to chase. They said we'd break, they said we'd fall, but look at us now, we're standing tall. We are more than the labels, more than the pain, breaking the cycle, rewriting the game. Stronger together, we lift, we strive. Single parents, we rise and thrive. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive. Turning our pain into power, we're alive. We see you, you matter, you're strong inside. Together we shine, we rise, we thrive. We push through the stigma, defy every step. They don't define us, and that's a fact. A village of love, a future so bright. Hand in hand, we own our life. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive. Turning our pain into power, we're alive. We see you, you matter, you're strong inside. Together we shine, we rise, we thrive. The journey